Hello surfboard fans, boardshop.co.uk surfboard review time, the Lib Tech Funnelator. It's a funny looking thing, but it works. We've had one to surf for the last 3 months. It's a 5'8", a little bit small for me, sadly, but some of the younger, lighter boys have been riding it and they've come back smiling. So let's have a spin round. As always in this kind of board, which is described as a performance groveller, flat through the middle, bit of volume under your chest for paddle power, late nose rocker, but a lot more tail rocker than you expect, and this funny moon tail type thing, and probably most interestingly, a huge deep double V at the back. So you've got a single concave running into this kind of double V thing that's narrowing. So the idea of that is to channel the water through the board, generate more lift and therefore generate more speed. When you combine that with the straight rail line, it's there to give you speed even in poor conditions. Now what they've done here is they've given you more tail lift, but they've also really thinned the tail out. So when you surf it right off the tail, it becomes far more responsive and far more reactive to your movements. Making a performance groveller is a fashionable thing right now. We all want a groveller to make the most of those crappy days, but if a good section comes up or a good set comes through, we want to be able to hit it and make the most of the situation. So that's kind of what this board is aimed at. And being a 5-fin setup as well, you've got a load of fin options. This board, we've been surfing it as a quad, we've tried it as a thruster or what have you. We've also tried it with a twin and trailer, the MR, that works really well. But for most people, I reckon it's crying out to be surfed as a quad. So the Funnelator, a performance groveller, from anything from kind of just below waist to a foot or so overhead, it can deal with the poor sections with that straight rail line, the flat bottom, the width through the tail and the low entry rocker. It paddles in nicely, but if you hit a good section, or as I said, if a good set comes through, that tail lift, the deep double V channels and the thinned out tail give you the ability to actually jam those turns in, sit in the pocket and make the most of the conditions. So if you're thinking maybe Pizel Gremlin or something of that ilk, but you want to try something a little bit different, then the Funnelator is definitely worth a consideration. Now, just a quick word about Lib Tech construction. Most people know about it by now, but there are a few key features. Obviously, they are super duper tough, which gives them longevity, which is great for the environment. There's a lot of focus on environmental kind of sustainability with the construction of the boards. The 31 or so components they use when they hand make them in America are all focused on that. The thing that we particularly like is the nitrogen cell foam core is waterproof. So if you did ever hold the board, which is incredibly unlikely, the foam board and foam core of the board will not soak up water as it will do with some other epoxy boards. What that means is you can repair it and get surfing on it straight away. You don't have to wait days for it to drain out. This is the first Lib Tech board that we've really focused on that isn't a collab with Lost, apart from the pickup stick, which is more of a mid-length, less performance-y. But we've surfed it, it works, and for UK conditions, for North European conditions, it's a lot of fun. It makes the most of poor stuff, but if you take it to France or Portugal and surf it in a little punchy beach break, it'll be a lot of fun, because with that detail in the tail, it turns real tight, nice tight radius arc through the turns, and it will help you sit in the pocket and make the most of the conditions. There it is, it's online right now. As always, available on 0% finance. You can trade in an old board against them. No custom orders on Lib Techs though, unfortunately. But any questions, just get in touch. Thanks for watching.